Morrowind's got a lot of mods. It's been around for a minute, so that's no surprise. You got your texture mods, your lighting mods, your quality of life mods, your aesthetic mods, but I'm more interested in the challenge mods. And I don't just mean challenge mods like Hardcore Morrowind, Beware the Sixth House, or More Deadly Morrowind Denizens. Those are fun, but they're meant to make the game more challenging without adding any real gimmicks. The game remains more or less the same, conceptually. But sometimes, you want gimmicks. There's a mod author, Silt, who's been making some... oh, what would the word be? I guess gimmicky is the only way I could describe it. One of them makes you hurt yourself if your carry capacity is too high. You stub your toe, you twist your ankle, you land weird after a jump. It's a silly gimmick, but it forces you to approach the game a bit differently. The one I want to play today is called Souls Drain Gold Hurt Challenge. It's pretty simple. Every 3 seconds, you lose 2% of your gold. That's the default setting. You can change basically all the numbers to your preferred values, which is probably my favorite thing about this author's mods. They're very customizable. We're gonna run with the defaults. Once you fall below 100 gold, you start taking health damage that ramps up over time. 1 point, then 2 points, then 3 points, and so on. This continues until either you get 100 gold, or you die. Oh, and you can't rest if you have less than 100 gold, by the way. You think the poor deserve a break? Don't be so lazy, bootstraps, etc. Hey, narratively spray cyborg, what you up to? Oh, nothing. Just looking at videos of cats and rabbits. I miss mammals. What happened? A frequent partner on the channel, Into the AM, is running a Memorial Day sale. This isn't an actual phone. Through June 1st, you can get from 25 to 70% off select items, such as these premium graphic tees, or perhaps you want something more suited to the summer, like shorts or tank tops. Now, I'm a bit of a pale fella myself, if that wasn't obvious, and if I step outside in the summer sun, I burst into flames. But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy wearing summer clothing indoors when it starts getting hot. I'm all about the gym shorts. Whatever you choose, you can get an additional 10% off by using the link in the description or in the pinned comment, or using the promo code JBN. And if you're not in the US, worry not, because this offer is available worldwide. So what are summers like in the future? The summers in the future? They're a little warmer. Gold is such an afterthought in Morrowind that you might not even know how this challenge would shake out. Would it even be difficult? I don't know. I'm curious to find out myself. So without further ado, let's get into it. I had a couple false starts with this actually. My first approach was a Nord since they're really fast. Speed is tied to weight in Morrowind, not height, and Nords are one of the heaviest races. I went with heavy armor at first so we could stand our ground in combat and fight without having to dodge and weave. I was under the assumption that moving is what cost money, and that's why our name is Anti-Midas. Rather than his hands turning everything to gold, his feet secrete gold. I don't know.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celisgravius.
Look how fast we are. Ow. Oh, we don't take... oh, jeez. We take damage even if we're not moving. Oh, that's different. That's not what I thought it was like. That's just not what I thought it was like. Oh, man. That makes this harder. I figured we could salvage it anyway. It's not like being tanky is ever a bad thing. Our first goal, regardless of our build, was getting enough gold to stop the damage. We needed at least 100, and fortunately, there's a flaw outside of Satanin with 200 gold on his lifeless corpse. The Taxman. The trick is getting there in time. Fargoth's Ring actually served a purpose for once, but it wasn't enough. Having restoration started us with Hearth Heal though, so we have options. I didn't save. A sign from the gods, it seems. The build was bad anyway. Our new name is Stonks because personal finance is our passion. Stonks is also a Nord, but unlike Anti-Midas, he's an acrobat. Spear and light armor. Heavy armor will just slow us down. We're almost there. Please. Damn it. I forgot to save again. Stonks the Khajiit. Why? Because they're great. We're taking Shortblade this time around. And by taking Conjuration, we get a free Summon Bound Dagger spell right out the gate. But we don't take Alchemy this time for 2 reasons. One, we're going to be doing a lot of alchemy. Not for the purpose of doing any fortify loop nonsense though, so assuage those fears. And two, I want to do this without leveling up, just because. We're going to be doing a lot of alchemy, so taking it as a minor or a major would get us a bunch of levels. We don't want that. We're taking the warrior sign this time too. Since we won't be leveling, the extra endurance from the lady won't be that important. Can we get to the dead taxman this time? We successfully cast Hearth Heal, so we should be safe. We got the money, so we've got a bit of time. Not a ton of time though. We're losing about 4 gold every 3 seconds, but we're not taking damage, and that's what matters. But we need some means of getting more money at a moment's notice. So we're gonna have to go somewhere that we usually never go to in a playthrough. Balmora. While we steal stuff, let me clarify something. Getting an overwhelming amount of gold isn't really gonna help. You lose gold as a percentage, so having a ton of gold just means you're losing a ton of gold. Here's a graph and an equation. Gold is on the y-axis, time is on the x. Decay is exponential, so you go from a lot to a little really quickly, but you stay at a little bit of gold proportionally longer than you stay at a lot of bit of gold. If we started with 2,000 gold, we'd have about 150 seconds before we got down to 100. 20,000, about 4 minutes. 200,000, 19 minutes. More gold does technically help, but it doesn't help as much as you would think. 10 times more gold doesn't buy you 10 times more time. Point is, we're not going to be focused on amassing gold. We just need to get enough to get to the next thing we gotta do. We're living paycheck to paycheck. Oh, and we're also not going to use the creature merchants. I feel like that would defeat the purpose, right? It'd be too easy. Our first chunk of gold will come from stealing the Master Alchemy set in Caldera and selling it to Narcaria in Balmora. She has 3,000 gold and can actually afford to buy all 4 pieces. And of course, we repay her generosity by stealing all of her alchemy tools. The Master, the Grandmaster, the Journeyman, and the women and children too. I stole them like animals. With these great alchemy tools, we get started doing alchemy. The potions themselves don't matter. We just need to make a bunch. We want to get 100 alchemy because our method of beating the game is going to be the Backpath. This requires around 225 health, and we can achieve this at level 1 with Fortify health potions. Higher alchemy means better potions. However, if you don't have the patch for Purist mod installed, you can't use Fortify effects for the Backpath. In the base game, the health you lose during the Backpath method is permanent. The language used by Yagram Vagarn when he jury-rigs Wraithguard implies that it's temporary damage, but the game makes it permanent damage. You'll see when we get there. I'll explain more in detail at that time. So anyway, we're going to need some strong Fortify health potions, and getting 100 alchemy is an easy way to achieve that. Surely this won't be overkill and require us to take a different approach. Crab meat and Kwama eggs. Ajira has a restocking supply of both, and we increase that restocking supply by selling what we buy back to her. She starts with 5. If we buy 5, close the shop, open it, she'll have 5 again. If we sell our 5, she'll have 10. Close the shop, open the shop, buy the 10, close the shop, open the shop, she'll have 10 again. You can do this as much as you want. We bought about 1,700 of each ingredient and got to work making Restore Fatigue potions. The reason we're not making them all at once is simple. I believe multi-crafted potions go off your current alchemy level, not the levels you gain by making those potions. Your chances of failing to make a potion goes down as your level goes up, so we want to roll the dice with the highest alchemy level possible. And that means making potions in small batches, leveling up along the way. Once all these hundreds of potions are made, we trade them for more ingredients and make even more potions. Frankly, Ajira can just have them all. We just want to get rid of them. After not too long, we get 100 alchemy and sell our spoils to Ajira, waiting a few days between each sale just to get a little bit of extra gold for safety. We're not going to get all the value out of these potions. If we tried, we'd be here all day. We just need enough gold to get to our next destination. About 7,000 should be good enough. Like Ajira, the basement wizard Larara Omain sells restocking alchemy supplies, but instead of eggs and meat, it's salt rice, scrib jerky, and wickwheat. These 3 ingredients together make Restore Health and Fatigue potions. At 100 alchemy, they'll be pretty strong. We make 80. We also buy her restocking Shulk resin, one of the ingredients for Fortify health potions. 80 of those too. Probably should have got some Mark and Recall potions from Narcaria when we were there. Oh! Oh my god! Right! I forgot about money.
Welcome, friend.
Why did we buy so much stuff from that lady? Oh, damn it. Oh no! Okay, I know what to do. Oh, what do I do? As a stopgap, we guild guide to Wolverine Hall and sell a few potions to this idiot. He has restocking ingredients too, of course, which we use to make a few scratch potion. Just some fatigue potions we can dump in an emergency. Because getting around quickly is super important, we should probably do something we never do. Like going to Balmora, this is a novel expedition. getting the amulets of Divine and Obsidian Intervention from Edwina Albert. We don't have Mysticism as a major or minor skill, so we swing back to Nalkaria's shop, buy about a dozen potions of Mark from her, underrated potions, by the way, and sell her some of those fatigue potions. She has a Fortify health potion, 20 points for 60 seconds. Do they restock, though? They do! Turns out we didn't need alchemy at all. We'll take 10. I do wonder how strong one of our own Fortify health potions would be. Shulk resin, human flesh, large Quama egg, and vampire dust. Those are the 4 ingredients needed to make Fortify health potions. Nalkaria sells a single vampire dust, so let's splurge and use it to see what we make. 58 points for 167 seconds. That's too strong. That wouldn't have worked. Taking damage while your health is fortified damages your base health first. So when the Fortify effect wears off, you lose health equal to the Fortify effect. If we drink this potion, then take 35 points of damage, we'd have 58 points of health left. But we can't heal that 35 points back because our health is above maximum. So when the Fortify buff wears off, we lose that 58. Since we have 58 health at the moment, losing that 58 kills us. The weaker potions are actually better. I'll explain why in more detail when the time comes. Right now, all you gotta know is that our Fortify health potions are too strong for us. We gotta buy Nalkaria's. They're too strong for you, adventurer. Potion seller. Enough of these games. I'm going into battle. I need only your strongest fortification potions. My fortification potions have killed men stronger than you. Before leaving Balmora, we grab a copy of the Chronicles of Nichuleft from Derisa Darvel, and Guild Guide to Caldera to buy an Amulet of Recall from Varric Germain. Before talking to Edwina, we drink a potion of Mark so we can return to her quickly. And we drop the book she's going to ask us for. If we don't, she won't give us the 250 gold to buy it. She'll just take the book. What's the point of helping people if we receive no tangible benefit? The rest of this questline is quick. Get the potion from Skink and Wolverine Hall, steal the Chimera Vermidium, kill the Scamp in Hulin's hut, return the Chimera Vermidium, and get the amulets. Easy peasy. That fight with the Scamp reminded me of something though. Doesn't Revere sell a Demon Tonto with Summon Dagger on it? And isn't it rather cheap? Yep, 126 septums for a dagger that summons daggers. We didn't need conjuration at all. Oh well. We have our teleports, and we have a reliable way of getting gold when we run low. Now, we can get started with the Backpath. First thing we gotta do, kill Vivek. Simple. He's behind a level 100 locked door, but we have no real way of opening it. We didn't luck out and find a Scroll of Akasha's lock splitter anywhere, and we certainly can't cast 100 points of open. There's the skeleton key, but Jim Stacy, the NPC with the key, is behind a level 65 locked door. I don't think we could cast that either. What we can do is kill the Dunmer Pope. He has a key to the palace, and he's only behind a level 45 locked door. Before going to Vivek, the city, we stop by 8 plates in Balmora and buy a bunch of Mazte. It boosts your strength by 20 points, at the cost of reducing your intelligence and willpower by 20 points. If you drink a bunch of them, you become really strong, but really stupid for about a minute. We're going with Mazte instead of Sujamma because it's cheaper per point of strength. Mazte is 2 points of strength per septum, while Sujamma is 5/3 of a point per septum. In retrospect, I should have just went with the Sujamma. Mazte is really heavy. With a single scroll of Undusi's Unhinging, which you can buy from your local Mages Guild, or from wherever you get your arcane enchantments, we crack open the lock, keeping us out of the High Fane. And there, stands Tholar Saryani, waiting, pondering, contemplating, theologizing. We taunt him into attacking, that way we don't get a bounty. He has a lot of health. What did he just summon? Oh, Bone Walker, no. Not a Bone Boy. We're gonna have to buy more of this Mazte. Oh no, this character's death, Severance. The key to the palace is on his corpse, of course, as well as an ebony staff, which we might sell for 1,000 or so gold, if we ever get into a bind. Since we're in the neighborhood, let's kill a god. Greetings. Oh my god, he's still got so much health. Oh, yeah. Now I know why Sujamma is better. Shit. What's up, nerd? No. I am the one who is nerd. I wonder if my healing potions are strong enough to out-heal his damage. Well, we'll never know. Uh-oh. Maybe this can counteract his spell. Oh my god, it does. Master Alchemist. Oh, our damage is so much lower now. No. No, 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 no. Man. Alright, the damage strength is an issue, and Mazte sucks. Let's restore our attributes at a shrine. It costs 25 gold. What a scam. And let's return to that bar to buy a ton of Sujamma. We could sell some of the fatigue potions here too. Could we do this without Sujamma? Absolutely. Honestly, our health potions are more than strong enough to out-heal any damage Vivek's magic can do. But that's not as fun. Sujamma make dagger strong. Dagger strong good. Sujamma make game fun. Smash God, but not in that way. Smash God with violence. No, wait, Vivek, Mulligball. Alright, Vivek. I know you know I was here already, in an alternate timeline or Kalpa or whatever previous saves are. And I know you know you're screwed. Back here, stop prancing. And this is why they put a limit on how many potions you can drink in Oblivion. No fun allowed. With the Drummer artifact in hand, our next step is assaulting Red Mountain. This 100-point levitation buff will be a lifesaver for that. Red Mountain is rough if you can't levitate. There are 4 items we need to collect from the Ash Vampire Citadels before we can defeat Dagothar. Sunder and Keening are in the possession of Dagoth Vemin in Veminal, and Dagoth Odros in Odrosal. Can you figure out how the naming convention works? There's a reason why none of the vampires are named Anne. To wield the weapons without receiving mortal wounds, which is about 150 damage every second or two, we need Wraithguard, a special Dwemer gauntlet designed for the purpose of wielding these weapons. Normally you get Wraithguard from Vivek during the main quest. He hands it over willingly. Since we were a little aggressive in our acquisition of the gauntlet, it's not in a usable state. We need to jury-rig it. To do that, we need to assault the 2 other vampire citadels, Terenulal and Endasal. In those citadels, we'll find Kagranak's Planbook and Kagranak's Journal. Those are the extra items we need because we're doing the Backpath. From Eldrun, we hover over the ghost fence that is totally effective at keeping Dagothar and his crew contained. They couldn't have tunneled into the sewers below Kagurun in the Ashlands or just like levitated over the fence. People can't fly, that's silly. Endasal is the closest citadel to Eldrun, so that's where we start. Before entering the citadel, we drink a potion of Mark because we'll likely have to return to Eldrun more than once to replenish our gold stores. We've got a dead hero here with a Daedric Wakizashi, a short blade. Maybe we could use it. Or maybe we'll just treat it like Tholer Saryani's ebony staff and sell it for a quick buck at a brutally discounted rate. Dagoth Endis offers us a bit of Dagoth brandy before we engage in one-to-one combat. We accept it, of course, not only because manners maketh Catman, but also because it's worth 1500 gold. Wow, he's got that 1-2 punch. Yeesh. Who'd have guessed being level 1 was such a hindrance? You know, Kagranak's Journal is right here. We don't have to kill Endis. We could just take the book and leave. He's not attacking. That's weird. Ooh, the glass boots. A little bit of armor would... Oh, wait. We're a Khajiit. We can't wear them. The key to killing enemies with a short blade is to take the swarm of bees approach. Levitate and circle the idiot while going all Julius Caesar on him. Works every time. Our gold supply is getting low, about 400 septums, which I don't think will be enough to clear out another citadel. So we return to Eldrun and pop into Lethavari's enchanting emporium. He's got 2,000 gold, so not enough to buy our Wakizashi staff or glass boots for a reasonable price, but enough to give us room to breathe. To get the most out of this transaction though, we buy a few of his elemental burst scrolls, Fire, Frost, and Shock. They're all the same, just different damage types, and they do about 60 damage total. Might come in handy, who knows. We're not able to wait 24 hours right now and have his gold stores replenished to 2,000 again, because we're levitating right now. You can't rest when you're levitating. We could find a bed and sleep in it for 24 hours, but then we'd lose the levitation buff. And going back to Vivek and re-getting the buff would be annoying, and we might lose more gold in that process than we'd get from Lethavari. I didn't want to deal with any of that, and navigating Red Mountain without levitation is brutal, so I'd rather just keep this buff and have a little bit less gold. Odrosal is the closest citadel to Endasal, just a bit east. This is where the 6th house keeps the short blade Keening, guarded by nothing more than a level 20 locked door. The lock is easy to open, but as with Dagoth Endis, it just doesn't feel right to leave these vampires alive. First, we deal with the Golden Saint, who's a bit more troublesome than I expected. Shouldn't really be a surprise since we're level 1. Ugh. Then we kill the Fire Atronach in Odros's chamber. A lot of the time it can't aim its fireballs correctly, so they end up exploding on the upper level, and the Atronach itself ends up not being a threat. But we're a flimsy little kitty with very flammable fur, and I don't want to take any risks. There's no reason for it. Oh god, I'm blinding myself with these scrolls. How the hell did I manage to do a scroll-only run? Jeez. With Odros's key, we unlock the door leading to the room leading to Keening's shrine, and take Keening. A short blade that comes with 30 points of attack. Accuracy is an afterthought with this baby, but we don't have Wraithguard yet, so we can't wield it. Next up, Terrainulal, our first squid face. They have a lot of health, unsurprisingly, but our potions are strong enough to out-heal their poisonous balls. Quick, before he has time to react! He drops the key unlocking his desk, inside of which is Kagranak's plan book. Apparently, he has a damaged strength spell. I almost never get hit by his magic, so that's quite the surprise. Good thing we still have some Sujama. Oh my god, did I already drink it? As I say words. Good thing we still have some Sujama. There's also a pair of glass greaves on a nearby shelf. Why does the temple go out of their way to hide shrines that restore your stats? This is why you gotta worship the 9. All of their shrines actually restore your stats. And now we're taking damage. The temple had the wrong shrines, so not only did they not help me, they actively harmed me. Back in Outrun, we rush to Scar and visit Cien Sintiev. She's not a wealthy merchant, having only 300 gold, but it's more than enough to get us to another merchant. She buys a few potions, and we use that gold to travel around the nearby area to sell more potions. There are quite a few alchemy vendors in Fort Buckmoth. Not a lot in the temples, though. Yambagorn Gros Shalor is getting this Daedric Wakizashi for a song. With both books in hand, we can head off to Yagrim Bagarn and get this Dwemer artifact up and running. A bit more gold might be good to have, though. Tanar Lurvy is a decent merchant to sell junk to, but we're still levitating and can't wait to replenish our gold supply. Instead, we sleep in a bed to get rid of the buff, but oh no! We've acquired 10 levels across our major and minor skills, initiating the process of ascending to level 2. I didn't want this. What do we do? You can just press escape and pretend it never happened. We get a couple thousand golds from Tanar Lurvy and carry on with our quest. Yagrim Bagarn is in Telfir, so why are we here in St. Anine? Well, it's because we forgot to get an important item the first time we were here. I wonder why somebody would just leave scrolls lying around like that. From Sadrith Mora, we use a scroll to leap southwest. Okay, we should probably have full fatigue before we jump. That's better.
Or even more complex.
Yagrim is intrigued by the Dwemer artifact, and he's willing to get it up and running again, but he requires a couple things first. Documentation, Kagranak's journal, and Kagranak's plan book. Oh, what a coincidence, my bulbous friend. We have exactly what you need right here. He takes the books and fixes the device, but warns that even if we were in perfect health, and even if we fortified our health as much as possible, there's a chance we'll be killed the first time we equip the gauntlet. It's this dialogue that leads people to believe the damage from jury-rigging Wraithguard isn't supposed to be permanent. You see, in the unpatched game, even if you fortify your health, Yagrim won't give you the device. It's too dangerous. You need at least 220-ish base health before he hands it over. So why would he mention fortifying your health if it didn't actually matter? This doesn't trivialize things, though. We still need to be careful with how we fortify our health. If we drink all of our fortification potions at once, when the effect wears off, we'll die instantly. Instead, what we have to do is leave a couple seconds of buffer room between each potion. That way, we can heal the quote-unquote damage caused by the effect wearing off. Watch. We drink the 10 potions, letting the sound effect finish before drinking the next. Notice the game isn't paused. We want time to pass in the game world. If the game is paused, no time is passing. Notice how each fortification lasts for a different amount of time. That's crucial. Now that we have 235 health, we equip the gauntlet, taking 220 points of damage, leaving us with 15 out of 35 points of health. To ensure we don't die as the fortification wears off, we must stand here and wait. Not rest, actually wait. Simply exist in the game world while the buff timers tick down. As each effect wears off, we'll lose 20 points of health, and we must quickly heal it back before we lose the next 20 points of health, because then we'll have no health left and we'll die. So watch our health. Those healing potions are paying dividends. That's why our name is Stonks. The more concerning part of all this is that we're losing gold while it's happening. We're back down to 308, and we still gotta get Sunder. But at least we can actually use Keening now. It's funny how its damage range is actually less than a Conjured Dagger. We go around to various alchemists and sell our potions, enough to get around 2500 gold, and recall back to Red Mountain. Although we don't have that levitation buff anymore, we do still have a couple more scrolls of Icarian Flight. A Bargain Rising Force potion is all we need to prevent falling damage. I believe in Daggerfall, if you cast Levitate while falling, you take damage as if you hit the ground, because momentum's a hell of a physics. Sunder is in possession of Dagoth Vemin in the Citadel of Veminal, the largest of the 4 citadels surrounding Dagoth Ur's Citadel, which isn't called Oral. I guess that makes sense. And that's Sunder, the final piece of the puzzle. We've got 778 gold right now. That might not be enough. Back in Aldrun, we sell potions to the temple and get an extra 1000 gold, which should cover our bases. Let's use our last scroll of Icarian Flight to take us to Dagoth Ur. Have quite the theatrical entrance. God damn it. Dagoth Ur is so spooky at level 1, almost no enemies spawn. It's more nerve-wracking that it's empty. The squid faces seem to be hand-placed, and the greater Bonewalker prick is still around to damage our strength. This is why I kept some of the Sujama on hand. Can't drink it all though. We'll need some to escape a Kulikan's chamber. No recall or intervention can work in that place, if you hadn't heard.
Dagoth Ur welcomes you, Nerevar, my old friend. But to this place where destiny is made, why have you come unprepared? What a fool you are. I'm a god. How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating... What a fool you are. I'm a god. How can you kill a...
Okay, drink a Rising Force potion before we crater into the bridge.
No recall or intervention can work in this place. Come, lay down your weapons. It is not too late for my mercy. Fool, stop! This is the end. The bitter, bitter end.
I always forget just how strong Dagoth Ur's melee actually is.
You fool, stop! This is the end. The bitter, bitter end.
I know we don't have to kill him this way, but I just like to. And we still got 429 gold to spare. Let's go get a hug. This is a cool mod. I wonder if this would be possible to do without selling anything to vendors. Maybe if every NPC dropped some amount of gold based on their stats, it might be possible. Basically turn Morrowind into Doom. Never stop killing. Vardenfell devours the indolent.